Happy Tuesday with Tamika. Thank you guys for joining me for yet another episode of Tuesday with Tamika, where you guys already know what it is. We believe in lifting as we climb, turning our trials into treasures, living a life to inspire and not impress, opening up and allowing God to fully restore us and loving as if we've never been hurt. This week, I have an oldie but goodie. A few years ago, I was working with a client that was dealing with a lot of anxiety. And so God placed it on my heart to do an anxiety check in where I literally walk her through how to stop the anxiety in your mind and your body from taking over. So I want you to enjoy this exercise that I give to my clients that are dealing with anxiety. As a reminder, if you are looking for a coach, that walks you through deep inner healing, that literally holds your hand and guides you. Think big sister, kind big sister, then I am the coach for you. I will be opening up my clients for some one to one clients. And then I also wanted to invite you to our Becoming Her membership. All of that information will be in the show notes. Until next week, enjoy today's recording. Bye bye.
So I have literally been thinking about you and praying for you and wanting to take a moment to really just check in. So this is going to be a quick little bonus to help you with something you may been struggling with. It may not be something right now that's at the present, but I really believe in being preventative. I really believe in us taking opportunities to check ourselves, to check how we're feeling, and implement some things that's going to help us. A lot of times when we're going down this journey of healing, something called cognitive dissonance happens. And with cognitive dissonance also comes a lot of anxiety. So, as I've been praying and meditating and asking God how I can be a better support for you, I keep hearing, talk to her about anxiety. Talk to her and let her know to cast her cares upon me because He truly cares about you. But because we serve a God that is really intentional, He doesn't just want us to cast our cares on Him, but He's going to give us practical steps to deal with some of the fears and anxieties that we're facing as we're on this journey. So let's talk about really quickly what causes anxiety. So of course there's many things that cause anxiety, but I have come to believe that the number one cause of anxiety is looking too far into the future. So when we feel like we should be at a certain place, like things should already be happening, that we shouldn't be feeling the way that we're feeling now that we've invested in the coach and now that we have the self-help books and now we're doing more prayer and we're implementing the faith activations. Sometimes we feel like we should be way further along and we're already projecting what our future should look like. That truly causes us to become anxious, worried, and that's where resistance starts to happen because we're not trusting the process. So I want you to know, I'm not sure if you've ever heard this, but this is something that really excited me, that our brain and our bodies do not know the difference between excitement and anxiety. This is true. This is like researched evidence based. And I want you to think about this because you're probably like, Tamika, I don't know. Let's check in. When you are super excited about something, like maybe going on a first date, like maybe getting a job interview for a company that you always wanted, you have these like butterflies in your stomach, right? So you're like super excited and you have these butterflies, but also when you're worried about something, when you're scared of like the maybe the hard conversation that you have to have with your parents or digging into some of the work that I've been having you do, you start to get like these knots in your belly. It really depends on what you look at it as. Do you want to call them butterflies or do you want to call them knots? The other thing that happens when both you're excited and nervous or anxious is your palms get really sweaty. Even as I'm talking about this, you may right now be having some visceral reactions in your body. So your hands may already be getting sweaty just thinking about some of the things that make you anxious. The other thing that happens with both excitement and anxiety is your heart starts racing. So think about I want you to think all the way back when you were a kid and like the night before Christmas or the day before school, right? And you're going into middle school, you're going into junior high. You have this like excitement and your heart is racing. But also, if you are getting ready to quit a job, you're getting ready to end a relationship, you have that same sensation of your heart racing because you have anxiety about that. Your breathing increases. So where you normally breathe at a certain rhythm, when you're excited, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, do you think he's about to ask you to marry him, right? Marry you, right? You have that excitement as well as, oh my God, a car is getting ready to come and crash into me. That breathing, that your breathing increases on both scenarios, both with anxiety and with excitement. So, why am I bringing this up? Here's the good news. Here's the good news because our body doesn't know the difference between excitement and anxiety. We have the power to disable the alarm of anxiety. Yes, yes, we have the power to change that anxiety into excitement. It's really in how we look at it. So, I want to give you three steps that I want you to implement this week until we meet again. And I want you to look at it as the first one. And I learned these techniques from Mel Roberts. She is an amazing, amazing life coach, as well as a speaker. And I believe she's a psychotherapist as well. And she came up with this concept called the 5 second rule. But I want to add a little bit of soul because I work and I service women of color. And so I want to add some soul to it. So, with the 5 second rule, the moment you have that feeling of anxiety and you're trying to switch it to excitement, and here's the first thing you do is you count backwards from five. So, it would be five, four, three, two, one. But because we're adding a little soul, a little spice on it, we're going to add a little music. Do you know that music doesn't even ask permission to enter us? Music, how many times have you been at the grocery store and they're playing some music faintly in the background? Before you know it, you're singing to that tune. Before you know it, you rocking, you tapping your feet, right? How many dumb songs have you got stuck in your head and you're like, until I sing this song, I can't get it out? That's what we're going to do when we're implementing the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're going to add a little soul, a little spice. We're going to say five, a, four. Come on now. Three. Yeah. Two. And one. Now I know there's no way that you just watched me or listened to me do that and you yourself did not start to smile. You yourself did not start to feel a little bit better because you've implemented something quickly that changed the way your brain was working. So now instead of that anxiety, your brain is excited. Your brain is excited, right? The other thing is to come up with an anchor's thought. So this anchor's thought has a very, very big responsibility. And its responsibility is to trick your brain, I'm sorry, and your body from anxiety to excitement. So let me explain this to you. One of my daughters, she gets a lot of anxiety when she's doing math, right? Like, so she had to take math over the summer. and she was like nervous, all of those things that we talked about in the previous slide. Her heart starts racing. She even like, when you are talking about it and you get like that frog in your throat and you start to kind of stutter and she begins to tear up and her palms get sweaty, like all of those things begin to happen with her. So I'm teaching her, instead of her getting anxiety about it, let's come up with an anchor statement. So her anchor statement is, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I can do anything I put my mind to. Instead of her saying math is hard, I can't do this, I know that I can do this and I'm going to get through this because I've done hard things before. Right? Like, so now her brain's like, oh, I'm not nervous or anxious about this. I'm actually excited. So let's see how that would translate in your adult life. So your life coach tells you, I want you to have this hard conversation. I want you to write this letter. I want you to revisit a part in your childhood that maybe you have buried. I want you to do this. And instead of you, oh my God, Tamika, that's hard. I don't want to do that. That's going to cause me anxiety. That's going to cause me worry. You know what? The adult version of me can do hard things because I've done hard things before. And I understand that this assignment that Tamika is having me do is going to continue to unlock my healing. Do you see how just reframing and changing that negative thought pattern into something positive truly anchors the way that you're feeling? So that's the second thing. So you're going to implement the 5-second rule with soul. You're going to come up with this anchor statement. And then once you feel calm, once you're like into excitement now and not that anxiety, I want you to write down everything that you're worried about that particular thing that's causing you anxiety. And then we're going to do some cancel, clear, delete, and write the truth. Now, this is something that I'm going to teach you in one of our sessions, but I wanted to go ahead and start to implement it or start to introduce it because this disables the alarm. This is how that those negative thoughts that cause you to go into this spiral, this is how we completely cut the wires, disable the alarm, and then we will never be anxious about that thing again. I really hope that this helped you because I want you to know that I'm literally holding your hand through this process. I am literally walking down the healing road, the healing streets right with you. So, this is what I want you to do because when we stay together, connected, we are so much better together. So, I want you to make sure you email me. Listen, you've invested in yourself. Do not do this work alone. If you start to feel worried, frustrated, or whatever, email me. Also, join my text community. You can text me right away. The moment that you're having some resistance, you can text me. I answer within 4 hours and most of the time sooner. And then I can give you a strategy to help you with that particular anxiety. And lastly, visit my website. I have blogs, I have podcasts that you can listen to that may address the thing that you are struggling with. Okay? Don't do this alone. Don't do this alone. I am here for you. I'm cheering for you. I'm praying for you. And I am believing God for your healing. I love you. Until we talk again, stay on the healing road.